The long-anticipated trip of the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken to the Chinese capital has shown that the Biden administration is keen to inject some stability to its relation with China. That balance in dealings between Beijing and Washington seems to be necessary for the United States. This was clearly manifested when the U.S. Treasury Secretary said during her visit to Beijing that any separation between both sides would have a destabilizing effect on the global economy. She said that while she is in Beijing on a tough mission to stabilize a fractious relationship.
I've made clear that the United States does not seek a wholesale separation of our economies. We seek to diversify and not to decouple. A decoupling of the world's two largest economies would be destabilizing for the global economy, and it would be virtually impossible to undertake.
China traditionally serves as the world's factory. The US is its biggest consumption engine. This makes the two superpowers as integral partners in many ways. Trade between the two countries remains extremely strong. US imports of goods and services from China hit a record $563 billion last year. China is one of America's largest lenders and holds nearly $1 trillion of US debt.
We on both sides need to be determined to try to make the greatest amount of progress to communicate as effectively as we know how, and do it now, because the current is going to get stronger as the election approaches.
Despite all of this, tensions between the US and China have escalated in the last few years. Ties between the world's top two economies have sunk to the lowest point in decades, with disagreements over topics ranging from trade to Taiwan.